How are you?
Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Shannon, shining through, laughs and insight, shining so bright. Keeping it real, it feels so right. Still keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real.
Well, hello, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Hello.
Hello, ladies. How you doing? I can't hear
Doing good.
Crystal. Can we hear you? Are you muted?
The sound.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay. All
It's
right.
technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, well, thank thank you for coming on. We have so much to talk about tonight. Um, I don't know, with this ICE situation, I want them to just disappear and go away and stop traumatizing the people in all these cities. And as you know, in New York, not New York and Minneapolis, it was Minneapolis. We had two killings down there, and now people have decided to protest like we should have been doing all the time.
Don't deserve it. They were hard jobs.
This is the second shooting, the second killing, the second murder of a resident of Minnesota.
Well, the thing about it is I don't know about anyone else, but I'm just becoming traumatized myself with all of this going on with these picking up people that they're not supposed to be picking up, using children. I mean, what is this coming to? I mean, what else? What else are we gonna do? We're gonna have to start. You know, we don't want it to turn into something violent, but it seems like that's what's going to eventually happen because people are really getting tired of it. So ICE agents now better, start watching out because it might be something that had happened in the past, like when the police was killing people for no reason before, and they just started shooting police down. So I hope we don't
Yeah.
get something like that. And it seems like that's what it's leading up to for something to happen because
Yeah,
it just
no, I hope not. I mean, this is just really getting to be ridiculous with ICE, and I think that we are going to have to end up going to war on our own in our own country amongst each other. So, because for them to shoot him, Alex Pretti, that is, to shoot him down like that was, I mean, it was unfortunate. It was very, very bad. I mean, they shot that man almost 10 times for nothing.
Exactly, because you know it don't take 10 times just to bring some. First of all, you could have brought him down without even doing any shooting, period, because you had all those ICE agents out there. So there's really no reason that you even had to pull out your gun, period. They were spraying with the tear gas or whatever that green stuff was they were spraying out there. You could have sprayed that on him or anything. So for two officers to pull out their gun to be shooting at someone, and plus there's other people around, it could have been more killings as well. So that shows you that it's just totally unnecessary for them to
Mhm.
be doing all this stuff that they are doing.
Well, they shot him. Well, they had him down. So, and then they decided they would. One person decided they were going to shoot him, and then they all backed up and then started to shoot him. So I don't get this. I don't understand this.
What really strikes me about it is that police officers, when it's supposed to be if they feel like they're in imminent danger at the
Right.
time. And these ICE agents are not operating on proper protocol. I mean, you're dealing with somebody who's unarmed, who's not a threat. No one is in imminent danger. He's not trying to shoot at anyone. It's not like he was wielding a weapon in front of anyone. When you start having agents who have authority to behave in this type of way without any type of protocol, nothing having to be, you know, this is sending us back to the wild, wild west in terms of what's happening. And this is not the type of society that no one should want to live in, where if someone is merely trying to defend someone else and they're not being violent in any sort of way, that they could be shot in the middle of the street. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing the things that, I mean, in a terrible way,
Mm-hmm.
how things are progressing at this point. It leaves me stunned to
Mm-hmm.
see what
My
happened to that
theory
man.
is, and I have a theory. I really feel like these are real, not real agents. Who have been trained. I mean, my theory is that these are the Proud Boys, if you ask me, the ones that was out there, tearing up the Capitol and all of that. I don't really think these are real agents.
But the thing about it was the guy from Homeland Security, yeah, he was from Homeland Security, said about, oh, they are, what did he say? They are protected. So in other words, if they do something, they're not going to be charged for what they did or whatever. He came out and said something like that. And that's when people really started, like, now protesting and really trying to let them know we're not going to deal with this. We're not going to take this, because if they think that they're not going to be held accountable, then that's why they feel they could just come in and do what they want to do and get away with it. But see, after a while, people gonna get tired of, and they're gonna start taking the law into their own hands. And like you just said about the Wild Wild West, that's what we're gonna be having, the Wild Wild West. Because I'm telling you, I do hope they don't come to New York, because New York is not gonna be like Minneapolis. It's gonna be a
No.
whole different
Oh.
culture here.
We
And
are a
that's
different
what
breed
I'm
here.
saying. You talking about
We
people
don't
being
tolerate
killed.
it.
Exactly. You talking about people being killed. They don't have no problem shooting ICE or the police, or anyone else. And that's the scary part here, is because now, they're in all these other states and stuff. So now I think they're trying to calm it down a little bit now, since people have decided they're not going to take it anymore, and they're doing all this protesting and stuff like that. But I mean, how could you even send some agents to a city to terrorize people,
Hmm.
traumatize people, and then using the little kids
Hmm.
that they're using to get the father? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Hmm.
That now you're using kids, so we know now you are out of order when you start using the kids and stuff like that. So something has to happen here. Something has to happen here.
Well, I don't know if something will happen. We have a president it who's not, putting his, well, he's the one who's initiating it pretty much and allowing this to go on. He make inflammatory statements and stuff like that. So I mean, really, they have fuel for the fire. So what can we do at this point?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, like I was saying before, he's causing this, and he's the one who sent them here. But what I'm saying, like you see it now, those people out there protesting now. Now we all have a part in this. We're making phone calls to our assembly people, our Congress people, to let them know how we feel about this and everything. This is not just going to go away just because he's telling the agents to come there. This is going to progress to something that's going to be ending up terrible. It's going to get worse before it get better, because people are not going to stand by. And then now they are saying that because they come in with all these masks on, you can't even really tell who they are. They don't know if they ICE agents or what. They coming in, so now they trying to make it where they can't wear their masks when they come in. And now our Attorney General Letitia's putting together something where now the ICE people can't come in and do what they was doing before. She's going to have people set up where they can also be monitoring ICE as well. So now it's going to cause problem even between the police officers, that's our police officers and other people's police officers, because they're not going to work together with each other, because they
Well,
telling them not to work together.
Well, that's already been happening. Is that, when they were in Chicago at one point, there was issues between the officers and with the ICE agents as well. I mean, there was a journalist who showed how easy it is to actually become an ICE agent. These people aren't going through the same background checks and things of that nature that people have to go through when they become police officers in order to have these jobs in the first place. So it will be interesting to see, what type of qualifications, what type of references these people had when they were hired, what type of training are they actually receiving? Are they actually supposed to be de-escalating the violence and bringing things down? Because that's not what they're doing at all. They're treating people as if, it almost makes me think of the time, during slavery when they were going after, slaves and running them down with dogs and things of that nature. Is that how bad that we're going to get where, you have people, that they're already using children? I mean, to me, it's such a scary, scary thing to think that people could be allowed to be able to hide their identity and then go after even young people. I mean, we've never in my lifetime lived in a time where we allowed something like that. There's protocol, there's things that there's procedures, there's laws, there's a way to do things. And there's none of that. But the spirit of the leader comes down to the people as well. So we know that this is coming from top down. There's a reason why they feel able to do and empowered and emboldened to be able to act like this. And it's because they've been given marching orders from their leader and they feel that he will protect them no matter what. And he has shown that he is willing to do that, just like what he did with the insurrection and pardoning all of those people. So they feel confident that they can do whatever it is that they want to do and that there aren't going to be any consequences.
But I
been given those instructions. They've probably been given the instructions to shoot to kill if you have to or if you feel the need to. I because and then I'm questioning, well, why they have to hide their identity if they're supposed to be part of law enforcement and this is supposed to be legal. I mean, the police officers don't hide their faces.
Yeah, but the thing about it is like you was like Krista was saying about how they are doing things now and going back to the way we were. But I'm also upset with my Congress people, my Assembly people. I'm upset with all of them because I'm thinking like, okay, I should be hearing more from you about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, to put a stop to some of this stuff. It's like everybody's too quiet here. Like, what is going on? Nobody's saying anything. Now, I know you should have a little bit of power, you in these positions and stuff like this. Where's the politicians now that should be, doing to me? Maybe they act like their hands are tied, but I just feel like they're not doing enough. They're coming into your city, attacking your people, and doing all this kind of stuff, and nobody's out there saying anything or doing anything. I mean, please.
And in today's age, there's so many ways for people to be able to, use their voices, to be able to say something and get people to gather and protest. That's what's really going to happen in order to have some change, is that people are going to have to get out there. They're going to have to protest. They're going to have to be uncomfortable, and come out of their comfort zones to be able to make a difference.
Right. Okay, then we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and talk some more. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah, it's Shannon.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Oh yeah, it's Shannon. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, on Facebook,
we're back and we was talking about the ice traumatizing me. And I'm getting tired of it myself because I might have to try to start doing something myself. I don't believe in violence and stuff like that, but hey, we have to change up the way we do things and we'll change up the way we do things because something has to happen and something has to be done about this. I mean, it's gotten bad so bad now they're even arresting they even arresting the journalist because Don Lemon he got arrested, but he should be happy he got arrested.
News alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota.
I've spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now.
I always like to listen. I always used to like to listen to him when he was on CNN. I think it was CNN. But after after he got after they got rid of him from there, you didn't hear anything about him. I didn't hear too much about him. And then when I seen him now at the church covering it, and then they arrested him, I said, "Oh, well, this is good because now this puts him back on the map." So now, I think he should have his reputation and him being a journalist because now the spotlight is going to be on him now, so he can be back on air again. Like I think
Well, he didn't go anywhere pretty much. I mean, he wasn't on major network, but he
that's
was
what I'm saying.
doing
He
his
really
own
wasn't seen
thing.
on
He was,
anywhere.
I think he had like a podcast and he was doing some other things. So he was still out there.
Not like he wasn't hot like he was when he was on
He just
CNN.
wasn't as he just wasn't as mainstream as he was, when he was on CNN. So
Yeah, he was hot on CNN.
the spotlight is definitely on him now. But I liked what he said. He said, "I've been covering the news for all this time, and I'm not going to stop now." And that is really what's crucial: is that people, whatever if they were saying something, they can't stop, and if they were being silent, then they have to speak up. Because that was the difference when you had like the Civil Rights Act was passed and those things. You had people who were speaking up. They were doing, their actions spoke louder than their words. And we're at a time now when action is going to be everything with trying to stop some of the things that's happening today, is that people are going to have to speak up and do something about it. And that includes the protesting, the marching, and unfortunately even being arrested, like what happened with him, which is unfortunate. A journalist, that's their job. They're supposed to be able to report the news, both sides, without being arrested.
But that goes to show you what you're saying. Now, this is how bad it is. Now, you gonna go in the church to bother people? How you going in the church to bother someone and to arrest somebody in the church now? You don't even have respect for the church. I don't understand that part. Even if you were ICE agent or whatever, you're supposed to have some respect for the church. You could have waited till the church service was over, which I don't understand why the protesters went into the church because they were wrong also. You don't go in the church and interrupt service or something like that just because that man was connected to ICE in some kind of way. Now you being disrespectful as well, the protesters to me, because you don't do stuff like that. I didn't agree with that at all. You wait till service is over. The people got to come out of the church. Then you stand in front of the church and protest, or you wait till the people come out of the church to arrest them. I mean, this is just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Unfortunately, we are past the point of disrespect where we're at in this country. And we are only, a year in, and these are the things that are happening. And we have a few more years to go in terms of this term, and even talks about even the idea of trying to get yet another term. I mean, we have been on some roller coaster already.
But we knew we was going to be on a roller coaster. This is not shocking to me. I knew.
No, it's not.
I didn't know what was to come, but I knew that we were going to be on a roller coaster. And I said when he got in, get prepared. Put your seatbelt on and get prepared.
Yeah, because this is a nightmare roller coaster for sure.
Uh-huh.
But see, the thing about it is, I'm not shocked about anything, but I am like I said, I am upset, disappointed about how he's, sending these people into the cities and all this kind of stuff. But when the people voted for him to get in, that was a message right there. When you think about it, like if you had a little tease with him in the first time go around, And the second time, he even said out his own mouth, it was almost like he's coming for vengeance. He's going to get
Yes.
everybody that went against him, and he's going to be doing different things. And if you didn't listen to that, so sometimes I say to myself, well, what are we complaining about? You put him in there, so be quiet.
That's why I don't say nothing.
But when people show you who they are, you should believe them. You know, he was one thing you could say about him is he was transparent.
Exactly.
People knew this wasn't.
Exactly.
This wasn't. But the problem is that people really thought that it wouldn't happen to them.
Yes.
They really thought it would happen to everybody else, but not them.
But how could you even think something like this has happened before ICE even took place? All the other stuff that was happening about the food prices, all the stuff we was losing and putting out. How in the world could you think this would eventually happen to you?
That's how delusional some people really are. Or how people, you know, what amazes me is people would rather hurt themselves to hurt someone else, not recognizing that you're not benefiting either.
That's
you know, he said our grocery prices were going to be down. I'm in the grocery store, nothing is down. The only thing that went down was the eggs. The eggs, you know, when they were super, super hot. But other than that, everything else is super expensive. You know, things that with the tariffs and everything else, everything is sky high. So what benefits did these people get who voted for him? I'm trying to figure out what they got out of the deal.
They got nothing. But I mean, like you said, they were delusional. This man had them drinking the Kool-Aid, and now they thought they were going to be living the high life.
And well, I don't know how can they even think about living a high life, because even when I'm listening at that lady on TV, when she came out of the grocery store and they was talking to her and asking about, you know, how much she had spent in the grocery store, and she gonna stand there and talk about, oh, how high everything was, and you know, and she voted for him because she actually believed that he was gonna bring down the price of food and stuff, right? And I'm looking at her like, I'm looking at my TV, and I wanted to take a brick and hit my TV with it, because I'm like, could you actually be that? I don't want to call anybody stupid or whatever, but I had to say stupid because if he's putting tariffs on things, who do you think gonna pay that tariffs? You gonna pay that tariffs when you go to the supermarket. And so how do you actually think you're gonna bring down any prices? Right. The tariffs is gonna fall on your butt to pay for.
And how much more that TV would be if you did throw that brick.
And so it's nothing we can do.
It's gonna cost you way more money now.
No, but what I'm saying is, when you hear these people talking, the ones that's talking about the one that voted for him and they saying why they voted for him, and you sit in there like, that's why I really never like actually said anything really bad against him, because you know why? He would stand up there on national TV, just like you said, and say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. He's telling you what he's going to do. So you can't even say you didn't know what he wasn't going to do. Because at least he told you.
You know, there's a scripture that talks about when the righteous are in authority and become great, the people rejoice. But when the wicked man rules, the people groan and sigh. What we are seeing clearly is indicative that we have a wicked man that is ruling. And the way the people are crying out, you know, and some of them hopefully are regretting their decisions. If they haven't already regretted it, they soon will. Because if he hasn't personally come against anybody they know, or themselves, it's coming soon. There's a lot more time that's left for him to do. And some of the damage that he's doing, the problem is we're going to see the effects of the changes that he's making for years and years to come. Yeah. Far after he is long gone, we are going to feel the impact. He is making so many changes so fast.
Yeah.
And he knows exactly why he's doing what he's doing. He has an agenda. He has a playbook. And unfortunately, he had enough people that were willing to vote for him and stand with him, even though he told them to their faces what he was going to do. And they made the decision.
Because now that he wants to go after the other countries, Greenland and all the other countries, like, what does that got to do with your presidency? Because when you're not president anymore, then what?
But who messes with Greenland? Nobody's worried about Greenland.
Greenland isn't interested in making no deals with him.
No, but when he's telling them that he's going to take it by force, because I said, I wish he would take it by force. Really, I said, I wish he would take it by force, because if he actually think that those people are not going to join together and come after the United States,
yeah, they will, and that's what needs. And you know what? I know I live here in the United States, but that's what needs to happen.
Exactly, that's what I said.
This is what they asked for when they voted for this man.
Exactly. Because he talking about, because I said that, did he actually think that China's going to sit back and let you come after them?
Oh, he said, come and play with me if you want to. That's what he told me.
Oh, China didn't play any game. They were like, we have been around way longer than America. China's been around way longer than America.
That's my point.
That was one thing they made it clear.
We will still be around.
This is what I'm saying, because I said because what them other countries that's closer to Rocket Man, they might convince him to join them, and then he gonna be involved, and then we definitely gonna be blown out of the water or somewhere with all his stuff that he has over there. Like, who are you messing with here? The United States is not that powerful. You think you can go?
In his mind, he does. He thinks that. He thinks that we're very powerful.
And all of this is, see, he's pocketing stuff for himself. That Greenland stuff, Venezuela stuff, it ain't about the United States. He is getting himself situated so when he leave office, he don't have to pretend he had to be rich like he was before, when everybody thought he had all this money, he was rich. No, he's going to be rich when he leaves as president. That's what he's doing. He's lining his pockets, and this is how he's doing it.
Him and his family. If you look at the things that they, no other family in the White House has profited the way that his family has profited, and so it's a very, very big difference when you look at.
Yeah.
People wanted to flee the very appearance of evil.
Oh yes.
This is a situation where he just boldly stands and reveals the evil, instead of trying to flee the appearance of evil. There's commingling of funds. There's all sorts of things that's happening that we've never seen.
Because you notice, every time when something come up, he never goes against Putin. He never goes against Russia for anything Putin. Even with the Ukraine situation, he talking about, well, he should be willing to compromise and give some of the land back to Russia. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to be helping the man, and you sit up here talking about he should compromise and give. That's why he's making his little private deals, and he's not going against Putin, and he's not going against the other people, because he is getting the gifts out of it.
Well, no, he's not. Well, ladies, we can talk about who all night long, but unfortunately, we run out of time.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. Look. That man, he doesn't upset me or anything. It's just that I stay on my knees praying, because that's what we better do. We better stay on those knees praying, because that's the only thing going to get us through. Because God is still in charge.
He's on his throne.
Yes. Yes. So we want to thank you for joining us tonight, and remember to watch us every Saturday at 5:30 on Brick and Manhattan Neighborhood Network at 2:30. So as always, we'll see you next time.
Keeping it